Hi shifters, I'm Alder Sherwood from Do You Shift. Today I want to talk to you about self-love. Self-love is a magical transformation tool that will help you transform your entire life. It will shapeshift everything. Self-love is about loving yourself completely, loving the core essence of you. Now, self-love isn't narcissism. Narcissists love the image of themselves. Self-love is actually about loving yourself. If you know someone that has narcissist personality disorder, they love the actual image of themselves and the image that they've created. So when you're around a narcissist, they pull in and take away energy from you. When you're around someone who loves themselves completely, they exude love and you actually feel better in their presence. So that's one way to completely tell. And if you know someone who has narcissist personality disorder, they tend to be energy vampires. And there's a lot of information available about narcissist personality disorder. You can look it up on Facebook or see a counselor. Going back to self-love, self-love is about loving and accepting yourself completely as you are, loving and accepting the grand version of yourself that's available. So when you love yourself completely, you aren't limited by the egoic definitions of yourself. I'm good at math, I'm bad at basketball, I'm this, I'm that, I like this, I'm for this team, I'm against this team, you're more than that. You love yourself completely and you expand everything above and beyond that. So you may love these wonderful things in life, but that isn't who you are. Who you are is beyond your beliefs. You have access to this greatest version of yourself. When you love yourself completely, you start to make different decisions about your career and your life and what you do every day. So for me personally, I had a job in the aerospace industry for many years, and I actually loved the job. It was really good, but it wasn't my passion and my bliss and what I knew I needed to do in this world. So it made very good money. I felt comfortable and safe and secure, and I felt like I had satisfied what other people expected of me. But in my heart, I was always doing filmmaking and acting and everything else on the side, and I'm like, that's my real life in spiritual pursuits, and that was my side thing, and then I'd be at work. Well, in January of this year, during the Do You Shift project, I decided to take the leap and leave that job and do acting and filmmaking full time. And I decided to do what was best for myself and follow my bliss and take the jump. Our family did downsize a bit and took a big risk, but I wake up every day excited. I wake up excited for the day, and I can barely get to sleep every night because I'm living my bliss every single day. And so you start doing these things for yourself because you feel that vibration in yourself, and things that don't go along with your core beliefs of who you are, you feel heavier. When you choose loving things for yourself, you're choosing loving things for the world because you're living in your bliss and passion, and that exudes into this world, and you get to do what you're meant to do here. You know, there's times when it's hard to love yourself and we judge ourselves, like we make a mistake or we do something that we don't like. But that's the juicy time to actually sit there, and in that mistake and in those emotions that come up and these feelings of guilt and anger and regret and all these emotions, to really sit in them and really feel them 100% and love yourself in that moment and love that feeling. And when you do that, you give yourself space to create the new you and what you really want, and you acknowledge that that wasn't what I want and it didn't feel good, and then you give yourself space to create. Because when we feel guilty and so bad about what we're doing, we tend to do things to cover up our emotions. So we'll find things that aren't good for us to eat, or negative habits, smoking, and all different types of negative habits. I've done it all to try to cover up, you know, my feelings of inadequacy and feelings of guilt for all these things I've done that I didn't like. So a side effect of loving yourself completely, one that I didn't even count on, is negative habits start to just fall away. So I used to have a drink before I went to a film event or showing, just to have confidence and to exude that energy and feel good as I was going along. And what I discovered when I started loving myself completely is I didn't need to do that anymore, because I was feeling so good anyway all the time. Like, I feel that jazz energy. When you love yourself, you don't need those type of crutches or habits. There are a few magical transformation tools on self-love that I'd like to teach you that I'm working on myself. The first one is from Louise Hay, and what she teaches is looking into a mirror, and when you look into the mirror, say, I love you. Now, it sounds easy, but some people have problems with this, and when you start doing it, some people feel like all these negative thoughts about themselves come up and their mind starts going. So when you get up in the morning, brush your teeth, wash your face, anytime you look into the mirror, just say, I love you, and look into your soul, look into the essence of who you are, and say, I love you. And the more you do that, you'll have this resonance with yourself, and it will feel wonderful. The second tip that I've learned is from Matt Kahn. You can look him up as well on YouTube. And this is saying, I love you to my heart. And so you feel the essence of your heart, and you say, I love you. I love you. And it just feels really good. And our hearts have been broken many times. We've looked to other people for love. And so when you give your heart the love that you've always wanted, maybe as a child or in a relationship, when you give that love, you're full and complete. And when you are around people, you aren't looking to them for validation anymore. You don't need people to make you feel better. You feel good yourself. And when two people come together that love themselves completely, watch out. It's dynamo. They're able to do all sorts of things. Friendships and relationships, they create magic together when they're around, because they don't need each other to validate each other, and they're not pulling back and forth. There's two people that are glowing alive with energy coming together, and you tend to like be in joy and bliss with them, and you're creating, and you're just going above and beyond everything in your wildest dreams. So learning to love yourself completely makes it so you're able to show up in other relationships a complete full being, and give more than you've ever been able to give before, because your energy radiates. And just being in a room with somebody that is having a bad day, they'll start to feel better when you start practicing this. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please leave comments below on other videos or things that you'd like to hear about, or just things that you're working on. And thank you for following our project. Have a beautiful day.